Hello my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com, and today we are going to talk about why I think that you are the best decorator for your own space. So I used to take clients, and I probably should be telling you, oh, you need to hire a decorator. There's a time and a place for that. They are really good when you need them. But I also want to communicate to you that I see advantages to you doing your own space. And here's what I mean. Number one, you have time on your side. Okay, so the worst part for me when I was taking clients was that I always felt rushed, and I've talked to other designers and architects and they say the same thing. It's something very stifling for creativity, actually, to have hard deadlines and always be stressed about the budget and then watching the clock. And I found that there were times that I would have to cut corners. I would have to not make something as custom as I wanted to, and I would just repeat something that I had done with a past client. And the clients seemed to be happy enough, but inside I wanted to do more. So that has been a real treat for me designing my own home. Not having the time constraints. This means that I can overshop and have the freedom to just go return when I need to. It means that if I love a piece of furniture but I can't afford to buy it, no problem. I just find a similar one on Craigslist and I remake the piece of furniture. It means that if I can't figure out exactly what curtains I want to do in my bedroom, then I could spend 6 months looking through samples and hanging up swatches and things. And that's not a hypothetical, I actually did that. But I don't feel bad about that, or I'm not wondering, how many dollars of time have I put into this. It's something just really enjoyable. You have time on your side. Okay, number two, you have what I call submersion on your side. So when they say the best way to learn a foreign language is to actually just go to the country and just live there for 6 months and just let it become part of you because you're surrounded by it. That's what happens in your own home. And I like to call it house whispering, because really good design takes knowing the space inside and out. It almost becomes a part of you, and you learn the things that are gonna work in your space and the things that are not gonna work. And every house is different. I love that. So you get to know your needs and your family's needs and the functionality and the flow of all the workspaces. And even like when I move into a new house, I just know it's gonna take me a year. It's gonna take me a year to feel like it's really my home and have things up on the wall and know where I want the cookie sheets in the kitchen and know where I want the laundry soap in the laundry room. And those are things that when someone just comes in, they can't possibly know these things the way you know them. And even in my own house, here's an example. When we bought our farmhouse, we had plans to gut it, remodel it, actually do an addition, and then have it all finished and move in. Now that did not happen. And I'm kind of glad it didn't sometimes, especially with my bathroom. So I had some cute, quick things we were gonna do to fix up the bathrooms, and it would have been an improvement. It would have been more expensive probably than what I would have wanted to do at this point, but it definitely would have been an improvement. Now, would it have been a work of art? No, I can tell you it was not a work of art. It just looked better, but it was still a little bit generic. And so we moved in, and then years later got to the bathrooms and spent 1 year. You don't have to spend a year on a bathroom. It's just as we had the time and money, we spent 1 year on each of our bathrooms, and they are so beautiful to me. They turned out so custom. Every inch had been thought over for hours. And of course we were able to DIY, which saved us a ton of money. And in the end, I'm glad I had the time and that I was able to live in the space and just learn it inside and out. And so that's the second reason that your space has the potential to turn out really, really well, because you are the one doing your decorating. The third reason is that you have stories. So one of the things that I love about working with a DIY crowd is that they're not afraid to reuse things that they found on the side of the road, or that their grandma gave them, or that they've had for a long time, or that they got at IKEA and they want to make it look vintage. And so many stories are made and so much love is put into a space that people get involved in themselves, and it doesn't end up looking like a hotel or like something like that was just purchased out of Pottery Barn. Like, I just bought everything on that page and they shipped it to my house and now it looks exactly like it. And I love it, and yet, like, how many other people's spaces look exactly like that? So, and I know that's not important to everybody, but when you do your own space, there is going to be a lot of stories. Stories of how you found the pieces, stories of how you remade them, stories of where they came from in childhood, you know, funny stories, and all that goes into a space, and it just makes it that much richer and more dynamic. So that also is going to contribute to having your space be beautiful. So be encouraged and be bold and continue to work on your spaces, and don't feel inferior. There's a lot going for you, and I'm rooting for you too. All right, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post regularly, and I share my professional design advice and our vintage home life. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon.